Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session today on this beautiful Sunday, the 19th of December. I'm here with Michael in Germany, and I'm here in Minnesota, the United States. And yeah, it's 2021 still, Michael, and we're on the 82nd session of The Science is the New Religion script, where we have good old Luci. Luci, this isn't the standard Luci that I know. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, hello, Brett, and welcome, Brett. Welcome, dear listener. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for taking the time to go into the 82nd session of Science is the New Religion. This is maybe a much more longer session than usually. I try to get rid of all the pages I did stumble upon, and this is Luci in the Sky. What do you expect other than the Beatles? No, not quite. Not quite, because we did 4 sessions on the NASA. We did 1 session on area, or 2 sessions on Area 51 with UFOs and aliens who do not exist, especially not in human form. But because you see that everything which has been created has been created by the Creator, and there is nothing which has been created which has not been created by the Creator. So therefore it speaks of only human, and it does not speak about a hybrid. It does not speak about an alien race from a distant planet or something like this. And I think that maybe you got a certain idea that there is something to it. But I'm not prepared to go into special things of the Bible right now, because we are still in science here. So science is the new religion. Therefore, it's Luci in the Sky. Why Luci in the Sky? Well, the reason is very obvious. The German Max Planck Institute is providing the American agencies or the American people, and is part of a so-called Luci consortium. Luci is built by a consortium of German institutes. The task is distributed as following: the project management, mechanical design, system integration, etc. But of what? Well, of this. The Vatican Observatory is one of the oldest astronomical institutes in the world, quote unquote, from the Vatican State. Aha, so that means that the Vatican runs its own observatory. Sure, when they got their own scientists with their own theory of heliocentrism. So, and you got that huge amount of money to spend, then you can have your own observatory. And not only that. So that kept me thinking about, oh, there is something to it. And similar thoughts from other people came for that conclusion as well. For example, here, the Exo-Vaticana. It's been based upon a so-called quote of the Vatican astronomer Father Giuseppe Tazzella Nitti, quote, "Christians will not immediately need to renounce their faith in God simply on the basis of the reception of this new unexpected information of a religious character from extraterrestrial civilizations. However, once the so-called religious content originating from outside the Earth has been verified, they will have to conduct a rereading of the Gospel inclusive of the new data." This is supposed to be a quote of the Vatican astronomer connected with the Opus Dei, Father Giuseppe Tazzella Nitti. So what to make up of it? Of course, it's the visiting of or looking for extraterrestrial civilizations. And that's what kept me going into that script, into thinking that would be the quite logical runner-up for that series on NASA and Area 51 and UFOs and extraterrestrials. This is the project Lucifer. Lucifer? Quite a character, huh? So this book claims to be the truth of Exo-Vaticana. So there is an agenda behind, which has been here put out in the open by the Messieurs and Misters Chris Putnam and Thomas Horn. And I think that Brett is aware of these people, aren't you?
Well, I would say that not terribly well, other than that Nona and other researcher many years pointed out that they are Freemasons.
Mhm.
And he very well could be on to something. I didn't check,
Mhm.
but I just assumed that he was correct.
Mhm.
But yeah, you just never know. I mean, isn't it interesting how these things work, Michael?
Yeah, I made the remark here SOP, which means standard operating procedure. So,
yeah, that's right, Michael. It is.
because if the Vatican or whomsoever wants to be to keep some secrets, they will keep secrets. And now there is a book open since a few number of years. What about the Exo Vaticana? That was a project of the Vatican astonishing plan for the arrival of an alien savior. Once again, how shall these people infiltrate the Vatican and by the control of the media are being allowed to print a book? That is quite not logical.
Right.
But nevertheless, let's go for this. Following for the release of their 2012 bestseller Petrus Romanus, The Final Pope is Here, Tom Horn and Chris Putnam were inundated with invitations from around the world to be interviewed on radio, television, and in print media. These included segments on the History Channel's Countdown to Apocalypse, a special feature on Canada's largest Christian channel, Vision TV, called I Prophecy. I don't know that Christian channel. So, the Apocalypse series, invitations to Rome to discuss with Italian media their findings on René Thibault, a Belgian Jesuit. Jesuit. So, whose meticulous analysis of the prophecy of the popes predicted the arrival of Petrus Romanus in this era, and dozens more. But during a show on Omega Man Radio, the authors disclosed a so-called extraterrestrial connection between Petrus Romanus, the Vatican, and the Mount Graham Observatory, which rocketed that program into the #1 position of the world, illustrating to the authors that modern civilization is more than casually interested not only in the final pope, but in the connection between Rome and their secret work on extraterrestrial intelligence, astrobiology, and the intriguing preparations they are making for the arrival of a so-called alien savior. The new investigation began and quickly resulted in findings far more disturbing than the authors expected to find. Now, for the first time, Exo Vaticana unveiled, yeah, if you believe that, I don't. The Vatican's secret plan for the arrival of an alien god disclosed. Secret files in the Vatican library on the reality of the alien presence found. The private document retaining the Vatican's position on the extraterrestrials revealed. Project Lucifer and the Hidden Quest for Fallen Star 2013. The top astronomers say the alien world and its inhabitants will be divulged. The Collins elite occultism and the covert breeding and hybridization program, the incredible family secret that Tom Horn has kept concealed for decades. What top government and Vatican officials told the authors about the reality of UFOs, ETIs, the Vatican top astronomers agrees to and is interviewed by Horn and Putnam, etc. The truth behind the face on Mars and artificial structures on other worlds in Exo Vaticana. Project Lucifer. At the Vatican, astonishing exo-theological plan for the arrival of an alien savior. Internationally acclaimed investigative authors Thomas Horn and Chris Putnam break the greatest story of our time and expose the elitists and intellectuals who are planning to assimilate mankind under a coming savior, one whom the prophet Daniel foresaw as an alien god. Aha, an alien god, the Daniel. Our Daniel.
Isn't that interesting? One whom the prophet saw as an alien god.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell me, where is an alien god in the book of Daniel? Can't find any. Maybe it's our fault. Don't know. Daniel, alien god. So let's hear it. Yeah, it's hard to find, huh? The alien god in the book of Daniel, Brett.
Well, I think they're referencing futurism, actually, because they're making the Antichrist, of course, not the papacy, of course.
Correct. Yeah, but they have. Yeah, but. Here is a hint. Ooh. Thousands of different Bible versions. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. If you want to find something, just please change the Bible version and then you will find the word.
There you go.
Great. Oh, this is great. This is great. So let's face it, alien means foreigner. Alien does not mean outside this world, okay? So I'm an alien in their sight doesn't mean I got green hair and 5 eyes and 20 legs, huh?
Right.
It's just an alien, and the Bible does not speak of extraterrestrial. So what's their point? What's their point? Alien God, yeah.
Oh, their point is to confuse you, Mike.
Mr. Horn says, quote, he says without apology that very soon the nations of the world are going to look for the aliens for their salvation. Mr. Consul Magno also gave the authors... Yeah.
That's laughable.
Consul Magno also gave the authors private Vatican documents which reveal much of the thinking of high-level theologians and astronomers within the church. So I would say, please try to get that book and then please read it with your own eyes. Yeah, but the problem is that it's just quotes, and as far as I know, I would like to see any documents. There's just quotes, and I would like to see interviews with real living people. Yeah, for example, Exo Vaticana. I think it was Exo Vaticana or the Exo Vaticanus. Vaticana, okay. Okay, so let's look it up. I think it is. No, I have seen it somewhere as a PDF. I don't know where. Maybe there is an alien thing. Maybe there's also a hologram, which we talked about last time. Maybe there is a hologram of Jesus. Maybe there will be a hologram of Mary. Yeah, much more likely, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or much more likely for Latin America, for example. Yeah, Horn said, so the author of this book said, these documents show that they believe that we are soon be visited by an alien savior from another world. Yeah, it must not be an alien savior from another world. It can also be something of projecting. You see that people believe everything that the TV projector is putting in their direction. Yeah, must not necessarily be present. Yeah, nowadays it is absolutely sufficient to have a smiling face on the television set. That people actually believe, oh yeah, that's the guy who runs the United States. You don't have to see him in person. You know? So what really is the truth? You see that people have their doctrines, have their agendas, but what is the truth? That just because 1 or 2 people granting interviews does not mean they are revealing secrets. They maybe are only revealing agendas or disinformation, counter-information, counter-reformation. I got a new favorite word. Counter-reformation, disinformation.
There you go.
My. Yeah, because what is news and what is real and what is actually all about? You see, for example, the Pope is so cool that he's willing to baptize Martians. Yeah, that's really a problem because he doesn't read the Bible. There are no Martians. But you see that everybody can get up, and I think the validity of that claim when it comes from Jezebel.
Check this out. This is Jezebel, and then under that, can you see the woman behind him? And then under that, there's this phone with a marijuana leaf.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pope is so cool. He probably smokes pot in the back of the Vatican.
I don't know what.
That's what they're. That's
but the problem is he's willing to baptize Martians. You see that? I know that there is a quote on the internet. Yeah, Pope baptize Martians. Oh, he made it on the Time magazine, and it must be true. Oh, isn't that fitting that even the microphone stand has a curvature, so a serpent?
Of course. Yeah.
That's
Right.
hilarious. That's
It's
hilarious.
very fitting, actually, Michael. Now that
Yeah, very fitting. Yeah, in a homily delivered Monday in 2014, Pope Francis said he totally baptized Martians if they showed up at the Vatican demanding to be baptized. He was trying to illustrate the point that everyone has the right to receive the Holy Spirit, even aliens from faraway planets. And I did not know that the man is capable of handing over the Holy Spirit. That's new to me. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Acts chapter 8, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. These were having the official authorization by Jesus Christ himself. Yeah, so that is a big exception, but not the general. Okay, so these are their doctrines.
Yeah.
He defined these hypothetical beings as green men with a long nose and big ears like children draw. Who are we to close doors? Yeah, who am I to judge? He says about the homosexual things. Huh? Who am I to judge? Yeah. On the one hand, he's the representative of Jesus Christ. On the other hand, he says, "Who am I to judge?" And Jesus Christ says, "I did not come to bring peace, but a sword." Who am I to judge? Yeah, you're the opposite. You're the one who's bringing the peace on this world, which is actually war. Yeah, but you see that if you are into the curvature of the microphone stand. I love it. I really like it when the picture reveals everything. It does. It is so fitting. Yeah, you see, I haven't prepared that picture here. It's just popping up. Okay, so the Pope is very cool. So it's no problem for the Vatican to baptize Martians. Yeah. And so if you go to these videos, you will see that it has something to do with the New World Order, which is actually the Old World Order, or the One World Order. That's why you don't have 2 World Trade Centers anymore. You have just 1 World Trade Center, because it's one world order and one world religion. Huh? New World Order, Old World Order, it's always the same. And I know we got many comments, maybe, I don't know, because the sessions haven't been published yet, about the Flope Earth or the Glad Earth, and people will say that, oh no, it's just a circle. Yeah, so what? You see here a circle.
Well, Michael, could it be that, Pope Francis is just setting the stage for when he supposedly dies and then comes back as an alien?
I don't know. You see that maybe you have the reference to his antenna on this head. I don't know.
Well, if you go according to that Exo-Vatican book, he's the final pope.
Yeah, that's the book they wrote before, Petrus Romanus or something like that. I haven't.
Oh, Petrus.
I once looked inside that book. I know that I got it somewhere, but I haven't found it, and I think it's not of very importance, because if you know that agenda, they will put everything up, and I think that it will be highly likely that they will use technology to confuse the masses by having holograms, by having live satellites, and all the things they claim to have. Actually you can see something in the sky and they will explain it to you, because you don't have to think for yourself. Yeah, they will explain it to you what it means and what you have to obey. And then you have to bow down. So I would not be surprised if something is coming down from heaven, which looks like a golden statue with a golden head, which you have to bow down in front of. Something like Daniel. Something like Nebuchadnezzar, actually. Yeah. Yeah. So we know that the Vatican, or supposedly the Vatican, has something to do with baptizing Martians and something to do with the expecting of any savior coming down from Earth, if it is from any planet or something like this. But what is Luci once again? Yeah, so Luci is a part of the Vatican Observatorium of their telescope. It is not the telescope itself. Yeah, many people got it wrong into believing that the telescope itself has got the name Lucifer. No, it hasn't. Once again, it is Luci, and second of all, it is just a part of that. Yeah, that you see that in that page here. This is the operation manual for Luci. Yeah, Luci, user man. Yeah, so then let's go into the man. Zip. The Luci user manual. How to operate Luci.
Oh.
Luci
reminds me of that one eye symbolism in the last session, Michael.
Luci is a part of the large binocular telescope observatory. So binocular means you got two lenses, left and right. This is the user manual from 2016, and you're very lucky that it is in English. So this is an industrial item as a part of the observatorium. Yeah, sorry, I skipped that. Yeah, you see here Luci 1 and Luci 2 because it's a binocular. Yeah, so it has two eyes or lenses. Yeah, so this is just a part Luci. There's nothing to do that the entire thing is something with Luci, but it looks, because it has something to do with Luci from lux, which means light in Latin. Yeah, of course it is Latin because it's a language of science and also the language of the Vatican. And Vatican is science. Every science also out nowadays, or almost anything is Vatican or Jesuitical science on that regard. So the Luci manual. I don't go into that manual now, and because I cannot grasp what it's all about and how it functions, but it is just a part of that big telescope and not the entire telescope. So it is just by so-called coincidence that it's called Luci, because it has something to do with light, Something to do with light. But it gets better, because you see that now the little hint is the letter I, Luci with I, user manual, okay? So that is Luci user manual. Yeah, looks very stylish, blinding you with science. Once again, we get back to that. The introduction. The two LBT utility camera and the infrared Luci instruments are an independent pair of basically identical cryogenic multimode NIR instruments that are capable of imaging long-slit and MOS spectroscopy in seeing limited mode over a 4 arc-minute field of view, as well as adaptive optic imaging and long-slit spectroscopy over a 30 arc-second field of view using a natural AO reference star. AO. Oh. Like Alpha and Omega, AO reference star. Yeah, that's it. Now you know what Luci is. Case closed. Or what? No, it's part of the Vatican. Don't forget, it's part of the Vatican Observatory, which is, as I understand it, one of the, if not the most largest observatorium of all times. Oh, interesting. So this is the part of the large binocular telescope, an optical telescope for astronomy located on 10,700 foot on Mount Graham in the Pinalina Mountains of southeast Arizona. And if I remember correctly, this Mount Graham is a I have to look it up, but I just remember that I have looked into this and I found that very interesting, because look it up here. You see why it has been stored on the mountain, Because, okay, you have clear sight, of course, because the density of air is thinner than on the ground. So let's face it here on Mount Graham. I have to look it up in English now. Mount Graham is a mountain in Arizona, in Tucson. It is the highest elevation. As the name Mount Graham is often used by locals to refer to the entire mountain range, the peak itself is frequently referred as to the high peak. Yeah, but that's not the point. I think it's the point here. Where it is. I know it is there, but I don't know if it is in English. Because I know, yeah, there it is. Located near the northern limit of Chiricahua Apache homeland and the southern margins of Western Apache territory, the range is one of the Western Apache's 4 holiest mountain. and is considered sacred by all of the region's native peoples. Interesting, I found that. It's been seen as a holy mountain for all of the region's native people. That is what is interesting for us, because science and religion, there is a connection. In 1993, the St. Paisius Orthodox Monastery was founded at the base of the mountain, so it also serves a religious purpose. Yeah, so that's what I would like to think about, that it has something to do with religion at the same time, this mountain, and with science. So very interesting, science and religion combined. Once again, let's move on. With using both 330-inch wide mirrors with center 14.4 meters apart, the LBT has the same light gathering ability as a blah, 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 blah. The LBT mirrors individually are the joint second largest optical telescope in continental North America, next to the Hobby Abbott telescope in western Texas. It has the largest monolithic conspiracy, Brett, anybody? Or non-segmented mirror in an optical telescope. In 2017, LBT observed the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft, an unmanned asteroid sample return spacecraft in space while it was en route. The OSIRIS-REx spacecraft? What's that? It's an interesting old ancient name of a pagan god. This is the OSIRIS-REx. It's how can it be? It's from the NASA. It's supposed to be from the NASA. In English, please. The mission, coming from the Jesuit, spreading the faith, primary goal is to obtain a sample from Bennu near-Earth asteroid and to return the sample to Earth for a detailed analysis. So this shall pick up some debris. Okay, that's it. But its name of OSIRIS-REx, very interesting, which is also abbreviation for Original Spectrum Interpretation, Research, Identification, Security, Regolith Explorer. Yes, yeah, you can fool me. Yeah, Rex means to reign, a ruler, a king. Yeah, OSIRIS-REx means Osiris the king. And who's Osiris once again? Yeah, Osiris is the Egyptian god of the dead, of resurrection, and of the Nile. Yeah, the god of fertility, agriculture, the afterlife, the dead, resurrection, life, and vegetation, ancient Egyptian religion. Once again, it's strange, no? That it's not strange, it's quite logical that they are naming their spacecraft, etc., after pagan goddess, be it Apollo, be it Osiris-REx. And of course, the Osiris pose from Aleister Crowley once again. Every time I stumble upon spacecraft, spaceflight, NASA, Area 51, I just have to look upon Crowley, and I found something. Yeah, it's about the Aleister Crowley in. This is English. Okay. Aleister Crowley in a Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn ritual as resurrected Osiris. Yeah, that's the same thing. That's a ritual, part of a ritual. So Osiris is the Egyptian god of the dead. How fitting for a spacecraft. Wow, wow, wow. And this is the same posture, the same as Osiris, which rejects to be hugged, which is also the rulership of Osiris. It's the god of the dead, not the god of the living. So it's a pagan god of the dead. Yeah, that's what actually is also a part of.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah, I thought that. So
right there, bam.
Yeah, yeah.
The silver cross.
Yeah, and it's the same for the letter X. It's for the generation X, not CX, and the X-Files. Yeah, it's the same. The X-Files has something to do with aliens, with everything else, you see, but to distract you from the word of God. X means the rejection of Christ. It's actually a cross which is not in the right position. Yeah, science fiction, horror, drama, supernatural, occult, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's move on. This is a ritual of Osiris slain to the cross, Osiris mourning the swastika, Osiris the typhoon, Osiris risen. So this is the very post-watch Aleister Crowley, Osiris risen. So the god of the dead has been risen. You can also exchange Osiris with Satan, which means then Satan has risen. Yeah, the pentagram. Huh? And you know what the pentagram actually is. It's a depiction of Satan. Yeah. So, and these are the 4 signs you can achieve with that ritual. Isis morning, apophysis, Osiris risen. Then you got the rejection, and you got, of course, the veneration of Osiris, which is the veneration of the dead, of the god of the dead. Yeah, that's it. It's all part of the books of Aleister Crowley, for example, pentagrams of spirit. Yeah, it's all spiritual things, spiritual warfare, what people actually absolutely reject, that there are spiritual things, spiritual beings out there, and that people are on a spiritual war at the moment, and since thousands of years, since the beginning. But people don't see it as it is. They don't see it. They don't see it. Yeah. In many, many, many books which are available, it's been spoken about that. And people absolutely don't get it, that the majority of world-famous scientists are using magic too. Yeah. You see, if you have used alchemy like Isaac Newton or Tycho Brahe and all the other people, you see that you're doing magic. This, says Aleister Crowley, is fundamental conception is identical with that of modern science. Underlying the whole system is a faith, implicit but real and firm in the order of uniformity of nature. La 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 la. What is that? Is a religion. This is not science. This is a religion, and you have to believe in it, and then you fall for the traps, and then you just simply get the things running. Yeah, maybe you also remember that pose here. Yeah, that pose. It's also pose of a pagan goddess, and it is very famous for a former German leader. But yeah, who it's so. And also, once again, Aleister Crowley is the source of the ritual of Marvel Jack Parsons about the father of the American rocketry. Actually, when you see that here, it has something to do with Sicily, and it has something to do where Aleister Crowley resided, and something to do with Apollo in bridal dress. So it's about a marriage, huh? It's about a marriage. Yeah, Apollo marries Luna, for example. So Apollo 11, of course, Freemason 11, etc., etc., etc. This is coming from the book Magic and Theory and Practice by the Master Theron. What does the Bible say about calling yourself your master? Call no man master, because Christ is your only master. Yeah, but everybody would like to exalt himself above God, denying Jesus Christ, denying the divinity of Christ, and being a master of himself, like Aleister Crowley. Coming from the Plymouth Brethren, hard word. Yeah, this is really this is Matthew 23. Yeah, which calls here that about master's bread, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
So for the Master Theron, yeah, for the Master Priest, Mr. Aleister Crowley. Yeah, and the devil is taking him up to a high mountain. Why? Because mountains are been seen as the residence of gods. Ask the Apache people about Mount Graham. So this is very interesting, because the Max Planck Institute in Germany has built parts of that binocular telescope for the Vatican Observatorium on Mount Graham. And very interesting that I found on the website of that company, I found that in the year 2012, the original name of the project has been shortened from Lucifer to Luci. Interesting, huh? So now you know exactly what they are talking about. It's about the same Lucifer, which has been mentioned in Isaiah 14:12, Brett.
Doubt about it, Michael.
Okay, I thought you would like to read that, but
oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm just not ready. Okay, Isaiah 14, verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Yeah, and there you got your 5 eyes, which are the 5 points of the 5-pointed star, which is the pentagram, which is the sign of Satan. Satan once called Lucifer because he was ordained to be the light bearer for Jesus Christ. Haha, so that's that. So it's very interesting that they actually agree and tell you that this name has been shortened to Luci, which then, of course, yeah, you see, I'd like to show you the original page. Yeah, this is the original page here, Max Planck's Institute, one of the German technology institutes of extraterrestrial physics. Ah, interesting. So physics outside of the Earth. Yeah. So then you see, I just want to show you that I don't have anything to hide. So you see it here. Im Jahr 2012 wurde der ursprüngliche Name des Projektes offiziell von Lucifer auf Luci verkürzt, which is the same what I have just translated into German, into English. Sorry, Übersetzer. Wap, Übersetzer. Exchange, insert. Yeah. Okay. You don't have to believe me. You just see the links of it, and then you can study your own, do your own research, study the things, and then you see that it's quite logical that it has the biblical resemblance of the old name of Satan. Satan means the adversary or the accuser. Yeah, this is the German part of it. Yeah, you see 5 times I. Yeah, and so that was part of the telescope is called Lucifer. So part of the telescope is called according to the old name of Satan. Run by the Vatican. Okay. So the robotic trailblazer named Luci. I said no, not once again. Now with an Y. Why with a Y? I don't know. Maybe to distract you to different between Luci and Lucy. It's very interesting. Space travel. The robot trailblazer named Luci. So they have a. It's one of their favorite names for space traveling is Luci actually. Near Jupiter, which is the Roman head god, the biggest, supposed to be biggest planet in the so-called solar system. And they are telling you now, with all their seriousness, they are telling you that there will be a diamonds in the sky with Luci on one of its science instruments, as well as lyrics from other Beatles songs. Yeah, and you have to believe that. Diamonds in the sky with Luci. Yeah. Okay, you have to believe that. Once again, it's a Jesuitical mission. We know that. Yeah, that mission is a word which depicts Jesuitical journeys or missions or tasks, if you like to say so. Yeah, and so they are naming that Luci as well. Yeah, how obviously must it be? What was the Bible verse once again? Not alien. Isaiah 14:12. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. So, I will ascend into heaven. The first one, the first wish or the first intention. I will ascend into heaven. Yeah, there you got your Luci in the heaven. Oh, Luci in the sky. It's not that far away. You see that there are certain regions, and the sky is not the most high, but it's just a start, huh? So the NASA, Nashash, the serpent tongue, has now here the depiction of a Luci label, huh? Interesting. In this image released by NASA, so we don't know if that is the real image, a United Launch Alliance Atlas V, where Atlas is the one who bears the word on the shoulder, so there comes the word Atlantic. V is the sign of the devil's horns and the Roman numeral for 5 times I will. Rocket with the Luci spacecraft aboard is rolled out of the vertical integration facility to the launch pad at Space Launch Complex 41. Quite recently, huh?
Man, what's with this?
The robotic tape raiser named Luci. My. This is so obvious what's going on. Yeah? There's nothing better for understanding how our solar system, which solar system, formed 4 billion years ago, said Luci's principal scientist, Hal Levison, and then you know that he's lying. They are the fossils of planet formation. Oh, planet. China and Russia are teaming up for an asteroid mission once again later this decade. So this is purely disinformation here, but it's very revealing if you know the origin of the word solar system, that this is just evolution guy, that Luci is an abbreviation of Lucifer, be it with I, be it with Ypsilon, so Y in English, and that the Earth is no planet, and the mission is a word for Jesuits. Yeah. And this is Luci. I think they should have made the wings here dark or so, for dark angels or so, which is either did. Sometimes it reminds me of a science fiction movie here. I don't know if that is real or not. Yeah, NASA's Luci spacecraft with its housing at the Astrotech facility in Titusville. Titus is also the name of the Roman emperor, if I remember correctly. It will be the first space mission to explore a diverse population of small bodies known as the Jupiter Trojan asteroids. That sounds very strange here, huh? That looks very strange, at least. Yeah, so this is their Luci. So the much longer 981 million Luci mission, the first to Jupiter, so-called Trojan entourage, is targeting an unprecedented 8 asteroids. 981, Brett. It's okay. It's clear what it is?
Yeah.
What is it?
981. Oh, 18. Yeah. 6 plus 6 plus 6. Yeah. Right.
You see, you have to decode their language.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and then you actually absolutely cannot be fooled once again.
The much longer Antichrist mission.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, Atlas, Luci. Each of Luci's twin circular wings. So Luci has wings now, Brett.
Oh, yeah. Circular even.
Yeah. My. This is so hilarious sometimes. Yeah. This is so hilarious. Yeah, you can sell to the people everything, yeah. That's the beauty of studying these rocks named after heroes of Greek mythologies, Trojan War, and more recently, modern Olympic athletes. Yeah, sure. Olympia is the mountain range where the elite pagan goddesses of the Greek are having their residence. The spacecraft is named after the fossilized remains of an early human ancestor discovered in Ethiopia in 1974. Now it gets really weird. The 3.2 million year old female got her name from the 1967 Beatles song Luci in the Sky with Diamonds. Oh, once again, Luci. That is the so-called missing link of the evolution theory. It's that female ape. Huh? It's that female ape, Luci, Australopoli, etc., etc.
We went through this already, didn't we?
Yeah, sort of, but not in.
We touched on it.
Yeah, it's the missing link. Yeah, sure. Yeah, they found a few bones. Yeah, this is actually the remains. They found a few bones, and then they're constructed by the use of a very high-skilled computer. Yeah, and these are the remains. What's being found or supposed to be found. this has been constructed out of that. Yeah, this is science. Yeah, this is not science, this is belief. 3.2 million years old. My. How many creations before, huh? And I said, okay, stop your lies. So from the Egypt script, once again, the Beatles. The spacecraft, Luci, is named after the fossil remains of an early human ancestor discovered in Ethiopia in 1974. The female ape, or what else, got her name from the 1967 Beatles song, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. My. So let's sum it up. So the spacecraft has been named Luci. The part of the Vatican telescope on the Mount Graham has been called Luci, but with I, not with Y. And the spacecraft has its name after the so-called human ancestor, which is a fraud of Luci, discovered in Ethiopia in 1974. But the early human ancestor fraud in Ethiopia has its name from the 1967 Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So next question is, where did the Beatles got their idea of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? From the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's very interesting because on their main page, on their homepage, especially in German, and so it's been stated. Then you can then look upon textbooks and notes and so on. For example, from "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds" from the Beatles. So this song is the only one which has been mentioned on the entrance page of the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yeah, so that must be the song which is most important to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And why is it? Why, especially this song, is so prominently mentioned? Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Flower power, anybody? Because Lucy means Lucifer. And not any Lucy. Yeah? Or Lucy with Y, I don't care. Yeah, because you see that you can write it in both terms, and also it's phonetically, it's absolutely the same. If you call it Lucy or Lucy with I or Y, it doesn't sound any different, doesn't it? Because there is Lucy's trust. Oh, you have to trust Lucy now, huh? You have to trust Lucy with I at the moment, huh? So Lucy's trust.
Isn't that interesting, Michael? Didn't you just point out a second ago that they changed the name from the Lucifer telescope in 2012 to Lucy?
Yeah.
Luci?
Yeah.
And didn't they change the name to this as well, from Lucifer Trust to Lucy's Trust?
Yeah, that's why I came up with that. That's
Interesting.
why I
so
wanted
not
to show
Lucis, but Lucy's.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to show you here the original page of the Max Planck Institute.
You can't make this stuff up, man.
You cannot make that stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Lucy's Trust, once again, was called, is a non-profit service organization incorporated in the United States by Alice Bailey, a theosophist, so Satanist actually, and her husband, esoteric, and etc., etc. Arcane means secret school, so a secret school for goodwill, world goodwill.
Beware lest anyone spoil you through philosophy. How about esoteric philosophy, eh?
Yeah,
Talk about a double whammy, Michael.
Yeah, and it's the same here. It's the same as the Max Planck Institute. You see, they all work together. The Lucy's Trust Publishing Company was founded in the early 1920s as the Lucifer Publishing Company. The Lucy's Trust says that the name was probably chosen to honor Lucifer. Probably, huh? The name was changed in 1925 to the Lucy's Publishing Company. In Latin, lucem ferre means to bear light or light bearer, and Lucy's means of light. Yes, of course. Lucem ferre is Lucifer. Yeah? Lucifer. Not convinced? Let's look it up in eSword.
Day of 14, of course.
Yeah. Okay, that's not from Hebrew and not from Latin, of course. Yeah, that's so you would find that in the Latin language. Yeah, but it means the morning star or Lucifer. Yeah, so they said about the morning star because the the circle of the Venus, the pentagram of the Venus results. Pentagram Venus results in that 5-pointed star. You see? Yeah. There are 5 stationary, so-called stationary points in the orbit of the Venus, and these, of course, form a 5-pointed star or pentagram. And now you compare the pentagram of the Venus, which is, of course, a 5-pointed star of equal length. Yeah, you compare that with the pentagram of Baphomet, for example, Aleister Crowley, or Church of Satan or something. It's always the same. Yeah, that's absolutely the same. With the goat head or without the goat head, yeah, you see that the 5-pointed star is a resemblance of Lucifer.
What's the sigil of Baphomet wool pullover from? Is that from Norway?
Where is it? That here?
Upper. Nope. Upper. Yeah, the right side there. Third one. Yep.
Okay.
Bingo.
Never looked at it.
Yep. That
never showed up. Sigil of Baphomet. Yeah, this is a 5-pointed star. Lucifer symbol, inverted cross, ugly sweater, satanic ugly sweater. My 60 euros, $70. I don't know where it comes from.
No, it's probably from here.
It's from a German web shop. It's German language, but I don't know what's the.
Oh. I'm sorry, I just assumed it was Norway.
No, but you see that the point is that these things are on the rise. Yeah.
Yeah, they
all the satanic stuff is on the rise.
Yeah,
but you see that the resemblance between the Lucifer's publishing company and Lucifer on the Max Planck Extraterrestrial Institute is absolutely the same. They just use abbreviations. That's it. Lucy, bam, bam, bam. And if you think now, oh yeah, this has nothing to do with Lucy with a Y. Yeah, you better think again, huh?
Man.
Yeah, so Lucy's Trust, it's a world goodwill, and they made meditation for the light and for the better future. Yeah, meditation for the goodwill. Meditation
supported by the United Nations, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Goodwill meditation, 22 minutes. Huh? It's absolutely, yeah. Activities, arcanic schools, so the School of Secrets. Look at the pentagram symbol here. Yeah, Alice Bailey books, world goodwill. Yeah, pyramids, meditation as a world service, the electrical bridge. Meditation results in light, love, and spiritual power for the human conscious. It contains meditation for full and new moon, the goodwill, etc. Blah blah blah. Huh? This is
the philosophical heart, huh?
Yeah, this is all the same. Yeah, it's all the same. It's a supporting group for the United Nations. And you remember when we were talking about the Foucault pendulum bread, that there is a meditation room in the United Nations.
That's right. Can't forget.
Yeah. And the Luci's Trust says about the arcane schools, the School of the Secret, talk in articles the esoteric meaning of Lucifer. Now that is German, but there are comments in the World Wide Web which claim that the Luci's Trust once has been named Lucifer's Trust. That was never the case, as Alice and Foster Bailey started in 1920 books to publish under their own name. They were naming their young company Lucifer's Publishing Company, but never Lucifer's Trust. Oh yeah, that's a big difference, huh? And in German, Lucifer has also been depicted and written with Z. Yeah, with Z and not with C. So there are some small differences. 1925, the name has been changed to Luci's Publishing Company and remained since then. Yeah. Lucifer, as also Lucis, have the same root of the word Lucis, with the Latin meaning of in the sense of light. The reasons of the Baileys to choose the original name is not known to us. We can only suspect or assume that they, as their big teacher H.P. Blavatsky, Helena Petrova Blavatsky, Isis unveiled, who says, yes, Adonai, Satan is God, and Adonai, unfortunately, is also God, meaning with Adonai Jesus Christ. Yeah, so that who mixes everything up, and Blavatsky
Right.
also claims that Moses is just a prophet, and you cannot make it up. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Like a big teacher, Mrs. Blavatsky, who was in touch with spirits. Yeah, there are certain accounts of witnesses who claim that she could speak in several languages fluently out of a sudden, and so many things. Yeah, so where they had a big respect of Mrs. Blavatsky, they tried to have a deeper understanding for the sacrifice of Lucifer, the deeper meaning and understanding for the sacrifice of Lucifer. That's what they try, or Satan tries to tell you, that he was sacrificed, and it's all a big misunderstanding, and he will receive mercy by the Lord God, and he will not be thrown in a lake of fire. So doubting the Bible, especially the book of Revelation, once again.
Wow.
Yeah? Ennis and Foster Bailey were serious students and teachers of Theosophy, spiritual direction, who sees Lucifer as a solar angel of this accomplished beings. My. Those beings,
solar, very key word there.
Solar angels, yes, it's really those Theosophy says or claims that they have been descended since a long time ago, therefore the fall from the Venus, therefore the five-pointed star, yeah, for to bring the ancient animal man. Yeah, so man, half animal, or what else? You see that is a resemblance of Luci, so half ape, half man. You see that is evolution theory here of our planet, which is not a planet, the principles of spirit. From the theosophical perspective, the fall of this solar angel, solar system, solar angel, was no fall of sin or disgrace, but an act of a gigantic sacrifice, which can be seen from the name Lucifer, which means the light bearer. My. The solar angel. Isn't that something?
What is this about September 1989? At the bottom? Oh, magazine, The Beacon.
Yeah, I copied that from the Luci's article page here, so I cannot click it. Yeah, because that was one of the first.
No. Asking to click. What did it though?
To read an article about the esoteric meaning of Lucifer, meaning the fall and sacrifice, published in the magazine The Beacon in September 1989, please click here. And I cannot click here because I have...
that would be interesting to see that link, Michael, at some point. That would be really interesting.
I have to look it up if they're write it with C or with Z, die esoterische Bedeutung von Lucifer. There you go. So then first of all, let us... I did already insert the link. I haven't looked it up, the last page. Okay, so
cool.
Yeah, better twice than never. So this is the original page. You see that lucistrust.org, arcane schools, etc. It's just in German, yeah. But you see, this is the original page. This is everything what I was just translating. Yeah. Well, so and this is
it's like in your face.
Yeah, it's absolutely in your face, but people don't know what Lucifer is, because especially when you have now a TV series called Lucifer, where he's of course a good guy. He's a good guy, huh? Oh. He's only serving God, but he's a little good guy. You see that? Oh, he's so good. Yeah. Oh, is he good? Huh? Yeah. And nothing to do with the Lucifer.
So good.
Nothing to do with the Lucifer space and Lucifer observatory and Luci's trust and oh no, and he's not a. So where to start actually? Where to start? But to ask about the link. So let's go back to Lucifer's trust here, and now I can click on that link, which I did. Aha. Ah, you got it in English. That is very interesting. So reprinted from the Beacon, September, October 1989. There is always a choice of two paths, and this is a choice which must, for the human being, be guided by free will. Oh, whoa, whoa,
whoa. This is a good little lesson for all of you free willers out there. You know, I was a free willer until I really thought about what it means to be chosen by Christ. Interesting, Michael, please.
Yeah, okay, this article is saying the mystery of the descent or fall to earth of the rebellious angels, the solar angels. The Bible does not speak about solar angels, or agnis vatas is said to be the mystery hinted at the scriptures in the secret of the ages, esoteric psychology. Yeah. Thus, it is not surprising that there is so much confusion and misunderstanding concerning the fallen angels, of which Lucifer is the best known representative. The secret of the fallen, this is disinformation here. It's clear. It's a page who worships Lucifer.
Yeah.
Or Satan.
That's got to be understood. This has nothing to do with the scriptures at all here. This is the total lie. This is like speaking to Satan himself right here.
Yeah, and now maybe it's very convenient that we had 81 sessions before.
So our listeners should know all the red flags are up.
Yeah. So the secret of the fallen angels is essentially the mystery, so not the truth, mystery, which lies behind the very plan of evolution, which is wrong, for the solar angels who never existed, willingness to fall, to sacrifice themselves in order to bring the light of the principle of mind. This is a trademark award. This has nothing to do with truth. The light of the principle of mind means
philosophy, Michael.
Yeah. To what was then animal man. Yeah, another deception, because it's clearly about Luci and the missing link, which never existed in the evolution, but it all has to fit. Marked the coming into action of the great law of duality. By whom is that law has been commanded? By which matter, form, negative and passive, could be quickened by spirit. This act of sacrifice at the dawn, dawn is a code word of Lucifer once again, of human history, that we spoke about that in David Bowie sessions, is a thread woven throughout the great scriptures and mythologies of the world. Yeah, it's nothing to do with truth, including the myth of Prometheus, who stole fire, so the resemblance of the mind for man, and the biblical story of the prodigal son who left the father's home to embark upon the path of experience in the life and form of the senses, a journey to the far country. Yeah, you see, Prometheus never existed. Prometheus is just another code name for Satan or for Lucifer in that regard. Yeah, and you can also ask Brad about the biblical story of the prodigal son. But it has nothing to do with truth here. It is just a myth. Yeah, the only thing which is true that there are biblical stories, but you see that they will not be interpreted in the correct way here. So once again, the role of the solar angels and their sacrifice on behalf of humanity is discussed at length at the secret doctrine. That's why it is secret, not meant for anybody, by H.P. Blavatsky. Yeah, so the Bible speaks everything out in the open, but the satanic system has secrets. So that is a theosophy. That is also, she's a Satanist. She's speaking with demons. In fact, the 1887 magazine of the Theosophical Society took Lucifer as its name in an effort to bring clarity to what it regarded as an unfairly maligned, sacrificing angel. Yeah, that's what he's trying to sell you, that he sacrificed his knowledge and therefore he was punished by God because, he was so curious and brave to bring the enlightenment to man. And we know that it has nothing to do with enlightenment, but people are being blinded. Blinded by science, blinded by mythology, blinded by psychology, blinded by mysteries, blinded by all this
blinded by lies.
Yeah, blinded by lies.
This is like listening to the liar just completely tell you his story right here. This is it.
Yeah. The name Lucifer comes from the Latin word lux or lucis, light, and ferre, to bring. This Lucifer actually literally means light bearer. Yeah, but they don't tell you that according to John 8:12, Jesus Christ is the light of the world and not Lucifer. Yeah, and Jesus Christ is also the morning star and not Lucifer. So they worship Lucifer or Satan as another name, or his profession actually, as the god of this world. The god of this world has blinded the mind. So in John 8:12 it is clearly depicted. Then, please read it, Brad.
Yes. Then spake Jesus again to them, saying, I am the light of the world. He that followeth me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. What a difference that makes, Michael.
Yeah, I think it is 2 Corinthians 4:4, if I remember correctly, with the blinding by light. Yeah, there you got it.
In whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that precedes this verse 3. But if the gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
Yeah. And this is one main page for people to fall into the trap.
Man. Very interesting. Very interesting, Michael.
So it is linked with the planet Venus in Revelations 22:16, yes. When Christ says, I am the bright morning star, which is Venus, heralding the coming into the full light of the sun, the Christ. Interesting, the role of light bearer is linked with Mercury or Hermes. Oh, more. You see, they mix up Christ in the next page, or the next sentence, they come up with the Mercury or Hermes, they come with mythology. So they're mixing everything up. Of course, Jesus Christ says in Revelations 22:16, he is the bright and morning star. Yeah, but that is an attribute because he's the first one. Yeah, of the sons of God. He is the chosen one. He is the he's the son of God. Yeah, Jesus have sent mine angel to testify. Oh, I'm sorry, it's your turn.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right, we're in Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. I, Jesus, have sent mine son, or excuse me, I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star. That's funny. I was looking up Matthew here, bringing this up.
Yeah, the point is here that Jesus Christ is the bright and morning star and not Lucifer. Lucifer in Isaiah 14:12 is depicted as the son of the morning. Yeah. So that he be venerated as the sun as the morning, but it is mockery in Isaiah 14:12. It has been very negative, been told that he wanted to achieve to be more worshipped like the Most High. Yeah, he would like to exalt himself above the Most High, or like the Most High. He wanted to go to the congregation of the North, etc., etc. So, but Jesus has the right to be the bright and morning star. Jesus has the right to be the light of the world. Yeah. Otherwise, in 2 Corinthians 4:4, we learn that it is the God of this world, so the so-called God of this world, which is no God at all, but been venerated as a God. Yeah, call him Lucifer, call him Satan, call him Prometheus, I don't care. It's just the same entity. It's just the evil spirit. It's just the fallen cherub, what you would like to say. So he wanted to be worshipped. You see that in Luke 4:4, where he's also tempting even Jesus to hand him over all kingdoms of the world. So he's, of course, if you go back to, this is a whole half of a Bible study here, if you go back to Luke 4, yeah, you clearly see what the devil said unto him.
Oh, this is good. Yes, and the devil said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, command the stone that it be made bread. And Jesus, and Jesus answered him, saying, it is written that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word of God. And the devil, taking up unto an high mountain, showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power I will give thee, and the glory of them, if for that is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. If thou therefore wilt worship me, all shall be thine.
Yeah, that's it. So he wants to be worshipped. He is the so-called God of this world because the God worships him. Otherwise, it would not make any sense that the devil showing Jesus Christ all the kingdoms of the world and then claiming that this power is delivered unto me. So therefore, the people like this Luci, they are bowing down to Satan or Lucifer or Prometheus. It's the same entity. It's the devil. Yeah, the divine messenger for the gods in Greek and Roman mythology has nothing to do with the Bible. In Christianity, Mercury's function is served by Saint Michael. This is not Christianity.
It's Catholicism.
Yeah, the angel guardian of Christ, according to Saint Thomas. Yeah, maybe they put up the Gospel of Thomas also, which puts away the divinity of Christ, huh? Yeah, it's all these lies.
It all makes sense, Michael. Once you really understand the scriptures, then this all makes sense, because the darkness cannot understand. They cannot understand the chief liar will never understand, because he is a created being that fell from heaven because he was jealous of God and he wanted to be worshipped as God. So there we go. And we're all going to have to live through all this torment, no matter how much more comes at us, and bear it because of this. It's this big, huge problem that will not be resolved until Christ is ready. We have to be patient. It's hard to be patient. Yes, I know.
It's all mixing up and confusing the people. Yeah, the esoteric interrelationship of this angel guardian and Christ is further illumined in the statement by the Tibetan teacher. Yeah, you see that now. You got everything mixed up here. With whom Alice Bailey collaborated to write a series of books of the ageless wisdom that Mercury and the Sun are one. Yeah, that is a demon. My. Alice Bailey. Code homie. Code homie, reference as KH, is said to be one of the Mahatmas that inspired the founding of the Theosophical Society in 1875. You see that serpent there? He engaged in a correspondence, blah, 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 blah. You see, that is a hoax, that is a demon. That's the same thing that as Lamb or Awos, etc., what Aleister Crowley experienced in Egypt. These are names of demons. A portrait. Yeah. A portrait. Yeah, there are people who are... The master Kutumi wears the body of Kashmira Brahman in his fair in complexion as the average Englishman, has flowing hair, blah, 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 blah. But I know that I have also read some witnesses who said that they were receiving things automatically. Code homie visited Europe. No, he never existed. It's just a demon. These are demons. These are names of demons. I have to look it up. Maybe I find that here. Didn't know that it would turn out in that direction.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
What? Yeah, Blavatsky, Alice Bailey, Dwal Kul, Tibetan Code Homie, Lucifer Strass, NGO, UN. Yeah, Dwal Kul was the name which I was not. It's hard to have all the names ready.
Yeah, remember all this information? Forget it. Yeah, it's a good thing you got a list of it.
Yeah.
It really is.
Also, Dwal Kul, the Tibetan disciple in the tradition of ancient esoteric spirituality known as the Ageless Wisdom tradition. The text described him as a member of the spiritual hierarchy of Brotherhood of Mahatmas, one of the masters of the ancient wisdom. La 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 la. He is said to have telepathically transmitted the teachings to Bailey, and it is regarded by our followers as the communications director of the masters of the ancient wisdom. What do you think that he is? What do you think that he is? This is the doctrination of the United Nations Trust of Luci, which is a supporting company. And the United Nations also got a meditation room. Oh, I would like to be present in that meditation room when their so-called meditation takes place. Maybe you get a slight idea of what I'm talking about. Meditation. Maybe we should call it invocation.
That's right. That's what it is. Invoking a spirit. And not Christ, that's for sure.
That's what I was looking for.
Not the Christ we will rely on, not the one of Nazareth. That's
no, but these will be the future deceptions for the next generation. Yeah? Somebody has appeared as a bright angel flowing into the room, and people are delighted and say, yes, I want to have contact with the spiritual world.
Yes.
It's also lovely.
That's right.
What's been depicted of Satan? That he can be transferred in an angel of light.
Transformed, Michael. Yes.
Transformed, yeah, sorry, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Transformed, almost the same.
Yeah, 2 Corinthians. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And now please compare that to that Luci's trust explanation. He's bringing us the light bearer, Lucifer. Go back to the Bible, it says, no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Yeah. It is what it is. Esoterically, the role of guardian angel was made possible by the sacrifice of the solar angels in their preservation of the principle of mind, or occultly, hidden fire through persistent repeated incarnations in form until animal man became thinking man. Yeah, this is all BS here. This is all evolution theory to let you not grasp that the truth actually that is you are created in the image of God. You were created by God and not by Big Bam Boom and not by evolution, not out of the sea and somewhere else. Finally, began to awaken to his true spiritual heritage. No, man's got a spirit from birth. Humane, divine man. Yeah, but it's coming, divine man is coming from a divine being, which is God, which is Elohim. And Jesus Christ created everything. Read John 1:1. Thus, the solar angels creates the form of an incarnating soul, the causal body, and it also withdraws that body at the fourth initiation when the link between form and spirit has been permanently focused and the causal body is shattered. Yeah, show me proof. These are fairy tales here. This is mythology. These are arcanes. These are secrets. This is occult. This is hidden from the public eye. And now comes another aspect, comes another big witness or what. The notion of the so-called rebellious angel seems to trace back to the poet John Milton in Paradise Lost. Give me a break.
Yeah.
So whom to believe?
Floyd there when they made their
back to Pink
mission.
Floyd and David Gilmour. Yeah, Rattle That Log. Yeah, you see
And
the
his
problem
wife,
is people intend to believe man instead of the Bible.
Of course.
Which seemed to anchor in human consciousness the idea of the descent of the solar angels as an act of rebellion and therefore a fall from grace. To reign is worth ambition, though in hell. Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Yet this is exactly from that book. But it is not the truth. It is a novel. He's a poet. My. Can you believe it that the United Nations is trusting Luci or Luci's trust, that they're putting out people in the open as a witness for their mythology, and then it is a poet. Whoa. It's like this other poet who has received a Nobel Prize. Wasn't it W.B. Yeats, who was a member of the
I think so.
Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn? So it seems you have to be a member of a satanic community or a hermetic order or a theosophical society, being touched by spirits, by demons like Dwight Cool and Code Homie, etc., who never existed. Then you receive the meditation room, and then you receive founding, etc., and support by the United Nations, run by the Vatican. It's all a big company run by the Vatican. Wouldn't you be curious to experience the so-called meditation room in the Vatican, where the Pope is meditating? That would be a very interesting journey. It would be the most interesting journey of your life if you would experience that room and that ceremony, that ritual. That would be a wild ride. You would never forget that. It would be far better than 6 months in Sri Lanka or Barbados or wherever. You would never forget that one night in the Vatican or one night in the meditation room on the United Nations when the appropriate persons are present. Yet the spirit of rebellion and ensuing pain is not found on Venus. Not found on Venus. It's too hot, too cold. We are told by the Tibetan, yeah, he speaks the truth. No, he can fly into your room. Yeah, you see that once again, huh? Once again, where is it? Dwight Cool, yeah? So Dwight Cool teleport into a room. Yeah. We can only feel sorry for the upcoming generation who has absolutely no clue by the Bible, that will be so blinded by these so-called Tibetan Mahatmas, etc., and people who are then teleporting into the room, and they will be blown by the light. Yeah, they'll be blinded by the light. The rebellious spirit, yes, the name says it all. Yeah, the not obeying spirit, not obeying any command spirit. Do what thou will. This is the rebellious spirit, which
free will, Michael, free will.
Yeah, this is not only Aldous Huxley, but also Aleister Crowley. Yeah, do what thou wilt. The rebellious spirit.
Do as thou wilt.
Yes. Do thou as thou wilt. Yes. Appears to rest squarely on earth, for the Tibetans suggest that the spirit of rebellion qualified the attitude of our planetary, which is not a planet, Logos himself, the divine rebel, and there you got it right in your face, it's Satan.
Yes.
The Tibetan quotes the old commentary. What old commentary? In what book? He entered into life and knew it to be death. He took a form and grief to find it dark. You see, that it's all mythology here. It's absolutely futile. Esoteric psychology. Go to Carl Gustav Jung and look upon so many things. Yeah. Allegedly, Jung and Sigmund Freud sat in a room, and I think it was the furniture or something has moved, and they were frightened and all the things. Yeah, psychology. Yeah, trying to meditate, trying to invoke things, trying to explain the world without God. Psychology, very, very dangerous. Hypnosis is ultimately dangerous because you let somebody else have the command over your spirit. Yeah, you are handing over your spirit.
Your conscience.
So your conscience. That's the reason why you cannot remember anything what you did under so-called hypnosis, which is also a Greek god. We have talked about that before, and I don't know which number.
That's like allowing your computer system to be taken over by some parasite. Gone.
Yeah.
You have no control over
you allow people to possess you spiritually. That's
just think of your mind like a computer for a second. You have an operating system,
you
have an operating system, which is your conscience, and that conscience can be corrupted, can't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the problem with it. You see that at the moment you hand over your controls and somebody else is controlling you, and you don't know anything because you were not in control. Yeah, so you were possessed at the moment. And I think that without force, no Christian can be hypnotized, because the Holy Spirit will not allow it to be driven away by some outside force. Okay, you can look it up you can go into area, but this is not truth. We are told by the Tibetan. Yeah, so that is their source of truth. We are told by the Tibetan. What if somebody else comes up? Oh, I know somebody from Costa Rica, and then who's right? We are told by the Tibetan. So just make up a website and promote that you have found the key to the universe or what else. Yeah, and then said, yeah, we are told by a Costa Rican guy that it is so and so. That the only true evil is the sin of separatism. Pfft, you know where it all comes down from. Unite. Unite or die.
Ecumenism.
Ecumenism, yeah. We gain some understanding of how Lucifer became identified with evil for the awakening mind which characterizes the stage of advanced humanity, blah, 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 blah. My. I mean, the mind is the slayer.
Our listeners should know that when you study history and you study all of the different councils of the church, and they're ecumenical councils, this is nothing new here. Nothing new at all. But it's so esoteric, Michael. It's incredible. It really is. This is an incredible study we stumbled into right here.
Yeah, you see that fifth ray of knowledge, fourth ray of harmony, you see this is just theosophy and mixed up everything. It has nothing to do with truth. The planets Mercury and Venus, so this is veneration of old Roman gods. It's nothing else. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. What are you talking about? This is mythology. You see, where shall I start? Where shall I start? It's everything here is BS. And you cannot prove anything. You cannot prove that Mercury is the messenger of the gods. You haven't seen anything. You have
but Michael, if you believe it, then you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
That's the key. And they know they can do that because they've made mythology now so almost fundamental. Like they teach it in the school systems now. Like that's good.
Yeah, you see that.
I mean, we get what we deserve, don't we?
Yeah. The substance of the mental plane is fifth ray channeled through Venus. Is there really somebody out there with conscience and with the common sense? Channeling, meditation. Oh. My. Esoteric psychology. Yes, everybody can write a book. It's not necessarily the truth. Is part of God's plans. Which God? The God of this world? Seems to be verified by the following passage from the Tibetan. Once again, the Tibetan is the highest authority.
Oh, look at this.
But normally, you see, Brad, the Pope would have to smash the Luci's trust because they do not obey the Pope. It's a tricky one, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, really, we could go on and on and on these tangents, Michael. And yeah, this is just, they're just telling you, in your face, this is the deal.
The deal is the Tibetan.
They really are.
The Doctrines of Devils.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Doctrines of, let's go back to the script, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that, though, Mike.
Yeah, you wanted to have that article. You wanted to have that article.
I really do appreciate that.
Yes. Hand over every complaint to Brett.
Yeah, that's right. It's Brett's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, I said he was the light bringer, so he was the light bearer. Yeah, but he was not the light. He was only the bearer, which was pushed out of heaven by the Almighty Lord. Yeah, he was pushed out of the heaven. That's the problem here. You see that he was the light bringer is not the light itself. You see that if you got what is it in in English. Kofferträger. So the porter who carries your luggage is not the luggage itself. So if somebody is ordained to carry your luggage, he's not the luggage. If somebody is ordained to carry the light, he's not the light.
Correct.
It's the same problem you got with the Freemasons. They also try to spin you around with the Roman Catholic doctrines and the praising of Lucifer in the so-called Holy Mass. Yeah, it's the same. If you don't get it, that Roman Catholic has nothing to do with Christianity, but is perverted Christianity, then you fall for the traps of Luci's Trust, or be it the Freemasons, or the Rahel UFO religion, or Scientology. Yeah, the devil doesn't care for what lie you are falling.
Oh, yeah, Knights of Malta, Knights of Columbus, who else?
Yeah. The laws of the spiritual world. Have you ever studied the laws of the spiritual world? And who is there to verify? Who is there to witness? Yeah, this is all pagan. This is all pagan concepts here. All pagan concepts. The law of health. Oh, that is what we are facing today, huh? By Luci's trust. No, I don't trust Luci. With the ring on his Saturn finger. Pinky finger. Yeah, love is love. You can love Satan. Huh? Symbol has never been a peace symbol. It's a symbol of a broken cross, initiation into Satanism, using a broken cross symbol. Christianity doesn't need any symbols.
Chicken foot.
Yeah, it's Lucifer rising. It's also Kenneth Angler, a follower of Crowley. Yeah, you see how obvious must it be? Yeah, you trust these people. You look at these people. You trust these people who are making that much of a statement here. Except the point that it's not allowed to have any tattoo in the Bible, but he doesn't know anything. Yeah, you see, once again, it's a 5-pointed star, the depiction of Venus, and the secret code for the Baphomet or for Satan himself.
All these characters know is rebellion, Michael.
Of course, the rebellious angels, and this is here a Luciferian pentagram. If it would be on top with the arrow pointing down, or the side pointing down, it would be a satanistic pentagram. Or this is a pentacircle. Before anybody says, "Oh, he's got no idea what he's talking about," I think I got sufficient idea of Satanism and Luciferianism up to their very date, because this world has been run by Satanists since the beginning. Yeah, so this is one of the major influencers on that regard. This is Aleister Crowley once again. Yeah? That's why I did also German lectures about that, and you see that it has everything to do with the night, with oaths, and this is the depiction of Lucifer falling down. So this is the angel who sacrificed himself to bring the light. Yeah, no. And this is the depiction of David Gilmour, Pink Floyd, Red in That Log, from that very book from Milton, Paradise Lost, where he's so innocent and wrongly treated by God. Yeah, if God would make any error, huh? If Lucifer claims that he's been treated badly, yeah, he accuses God of being unfair.
Of course.
That's a very dangerous road.
Yes, well, that's the very nature of this.
Yeah. And so clearly in that Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven, actually it is not to heaven, but he's falling down from heaven. Yeah. You can see that very clearly, I think, here. Yeah, and Pink Floyd also made a resemblance to Lucifer, the light bearer. Yeah, this is a light bearer. He's bearing lights. He's bearing bulbs, I know. Yeah. How hard is it? Yeah, when Lucifer, when at the instrumental works of Alan Parsons' project in the beginning of Lucifer, there's a Morse code, SOS. Huh? Synagogue of Satan is SOS. Yeah? So SOS also is Synagogue of Satan. I know it is content of the book of Revelation. Synagogue of Satan. I cannot remember which chapter. I have to look it up.
17 or 18, I think.
Yeah, 2:9.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. I know that works. I know where you live. I know that is, yeah, Synagogue of Satan. Oh, there are certain things here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so SOS Morse code at the beginning of that song from Alan Parsons Project, which used to be the executive or the second producer of Beatles albums, yeah, uses the SOS code. SOS means there in that regard, when it is attributed to Lucifer, which is the old name of Satan, is of course the synagogue of Satan. And why do they wear that outfit? Because they are sorry for Satan to fall, or Lucifer to fall, to becoming Satan. It's not hard. When you really have the experience and the knowledge of the Bible, then it's so easy. And it's so easy. Yeah, so easy. So that's why the Beatles use Crowley. That is just somebody who made an artifact here. Crowley has been clearly depicted here in the Beatles album Sgt. Pepper's, which actually resembles the funeral of the old Beatles, but it's just another thing. Yeah, the Doors means breakthrough to the other side, could also be a resemblance of Crowley. Crowley himself as a Baphomet, he saw himself as the reincarnation, hello, Lucy Strass, the reincarnation of Eliphas Levi, the one who made this famous illustration of the Baphomet and also was a Satanist, etc. This is Crowley here. Yeah, Beatles have their devotional things. Devotion means also religious worship. This is so. Beatles, yeah, not Beatles. No, Beatles were named after Beatles, after the holy Scarabaeus of the Egyptian thing. So there, you can assume that Beatles maybe has something to do with Freemasonry. But our point is at the moment, I haven't looked it up. In that moment, we are talking about Lucy. What's been with Lucy with the Beatles? Yeah, the Scarabaeus has a strong solar aspect. Yeah, he's been identified with the circle of the sun, or with the movement of the sun, with the direction of the sun. So it is the holy Scarabaeus Sacer, sacred Scarabaeus of the old Egyptian art. Okay. So let's get moving here so that we can cover it in this session. So in Edgar Allan Poe was befriended with Jesuits, by the way. This famous or infamous horror guy, which died on suspicious circumstances, maybe drunk, maybe drugged, don't know. He made a short version of a tale. It's the gold bug. Yeah, so it had everything to do with gold. With the slave of Jupiter. The slave has been named Jupiter. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. My. Yeah. Yeah, and there's also a second code of an alchemic allegory of a metaphorical of a story. A possessed alchemist who doesn't not only look for gold but also to wisdom. Yeah, you see that this entire Alan Parsons project, his grandfather was, I think he was the founder of the Royal Society of Theatre or something. I cannot recall it at the moment. But he was not only the John Doe who came just in by accident from the EMI record company and then was hired by the Beatles. No. This guy has big ties, and he's not only wearing a black ring here, but it's depicted that he's been possessed, that he has contact with spiritual beings in this Pyramid album. Here you got the gold bug. Here you see the reference to Edgar Allan Poe, and you had snake eyes. And you got, of course, play cards, which is only an entrance stage to occultism. Yeah, and then you got the eye in the sky with the Eye of Horus, and you got pyramids, etc. This is the Alan Parsons Project Lucifer, where he, which I found out, and after I published that video, the video was going down on YouTube because of a copyright claim. He's looking up when playing Lucifer. Very interesting. Yeah, so it's all about Osiris and Sirius of Canis Major, fixed star. That's where the Egyptian pyramids were aligned to, at the position where they had a few thousand years ago. This is the obelisk at the Abbey Road. This is the famous crossover here, where the people are then moving from one side to the other here. But behind that famous crossing here is the big obelisk, which tells you that it is a Freemason thing. And the Abbey Road means the road with the abbey. So it has a religious term once again, the Abbey Road. So back to the Beatles. John Lennon claims the whole Beatle idea was to do what you want. Do what thou wilt, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Yeah, of course, they have pictured Aleister Crowley on their album. And everybody is using pentagrams, the German club where they were so-called discovered. Yeah, Star Club. Yeah, and that also I found very interesting, that hilarious comic here. Oh, Crowley. So somebody is obviously mixing up John Lennon with Crowley. Yeah. Yeah, there are so many things about the Beatles. It's endlessly, actually, almost endlessly. So I have to skip it here. I'm skipping it here, but I'm skipping it so that you have the chance to read something about it. Yeah, the Casbah Club. Casbah means a citadel in North Africa. Also, something to do with religion. Yeah? So that I came up to the idea that there was something religion. The Muezzin. So you got by the order of the prophet, degenerate the faithful with the crazy Casbah sound. Yeah, so the Casbah.
Yeah, degenerate the faithful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sums it up pretty good.
Yeah. But that's not what I wanted to show you. We are talking about Lucifer, aren't we? Oh, this is a nice picture here in that Casbah Club where the Beatles were. Nice, very nice, very revealing sometimes. So this is the famous picture, and behind that crossing is that obelisk.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, the Beatles. Any questions? Magical mystery tour. Mystery. Once again. The Beatles, 666, horn signs, etc. Beatles press officer says, quote, I mean, I'm anti-Christian as well, but they are so anti-Christ that they shocked even me, which isn't an easy thing. But I'm sorry that this is just a futile quote, because there is no name mentioned. Yeah, so that you have always a resemblance of Manu Cornuta, horn signs. Yeah. Also in that yellow submarine, and it's, of course, it's a pyramid, so you can assume that it has something to do with Freemasonry, especially when there is an obelisk in that Abbey Road. The blue meanies. Similar to Cerberus, the three-headed hound of Hades in Greek mythology. Yeah, what do you expect? Huh? It's totally devilish project, the Beatles. Yeah, four innocent-looking guys making music to do what they willed and to love anybody, and it's not about children or marriage. Yeah, look at the lyrics of the Beatles songs, actually. Yeah, look at the pictures.
Yeah, that says quite a bit right there.
Yeah, yeah, it's just to provoke and just to be in the headlines. We are more popular than Jesus. Yeah, John.
That's right.
Yeah. So, and this is the background here, the Beatles. Yeah, you see that you have only to exchange the A with the E, and then you know these are the Scarabeus. Why? Yeah, because Aleister Crowley appears on the cover of the Beatles' masterpiece Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club's Band. Crowley published a collection of poetry in 1910 entitled The Winged Beetle, a number of poems in a collection portraying themes that mirrored his occult interests, such as the poems of the Pentagram, the Sorceress, and the Wizard Way. Paul McCartney being in the Beatles then, when they split, forming a new band called The Wings. Yeah? So, The Winged Beetle, The Wings and the Beatles. Huh? How hard can it be?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, they haven't been pictured Aleister Crowley on their famous Sgt. Pepper's album for nothing. Crowley was a big influence on many musicians. Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin, of course, he bought that Bodyskin house. David Bowie, yeah, we went into that in his song Quicksand. And John Lennon, etc., etc., etc. Many, many, many people. Yeah, this is Crowley once again. The Winged Beetle. Yeah, so you have the Wings and the Beatles. Paul McCartney and the Wings. Band on the run. Huh? Paul McCartney and the Wings. How many wings would you like to have? Huh? Yeah, that was from the Christopher Lee script. Huh? Christopher Lee also in touch with the 666 lover of Paul McCartney. That's why he's called Sir nowadays. Yeah, Band on the Run. Huh? I would say this is an evil cover, huh? There's nothing to do with love or what else. Yeah, no, they are on the run. The band of Sir Paul McCartney. Ah, Sir Paul McCartney. Yeah. Yeah, you see a little bit change of styles. And afterwards, before they were brave, and afterwards they were revolutioners, revolution, rebellion. Ah, yeah. And Krishna and all the stuff. Maharishi, Maharishi Yogi. Yeah. And they played at the stadium. Stadium means in Greek, a race course, a running track, a track at Olympia. So to be worshipped there in a stadium, we can feel ourselves as gods. Yeah, the sound of the crowd was so deafening that none of the Beatles or anyone else could hear what they were playing. If that is not worship, I don't know what is.
Oh.
Yeah, the attendance record stood until 1973 when it was broken by Led Zeppelin with 56,800 fans at Tampa Stadium. Yeah, you see the one Satanist being replaced by the next Satanist. Led Zeppelin, huh? This is Jimmy Page, the one who bought that house of Aleister Crowley. Yeah. And the Police also, when we know that the drummer was the founder and the father of the drummer was a spy. Bob Dylan. Oh, Bob Dylan, once again, the chief commander of the world we cannot see. The one who was given the statement that he was in touch with Satan. The chief commander. Oh, my, the gods, the Beatles veneration. Oh, this is the crowd. Yeah, I love you, Ringo. I love you. I never met you. I don't know anything about you. I cannot see you. I cannot hear you, but I love you. So this is religious belief, nothing to do with truth. Yeah, she thinks that Ringo and John is so and so, but she doesn't know anything. Therefore, 1 John warns us.
Oh, yes. Little children, keep yourselves from idols. Amen.
Mm-hmm. If that is not veneration, I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
This is what you are supposed to see, the Beatles Apple records. Apple once again, not Steve Jobs. There was Apple before Apple. So Apple once again, not Isaac Newton, not the Paradise, but it's Beatles. It's the Beatles Apple. Oh yeah, Abbey Road, hence the name Abbey. This is the crossing. Oh yeah, it's so fun to go into there. It's the Abbey House. The Abbey House, okay, in the Abbey Roads, okay. Yeah, Mel Evans, who was roadie for the Beatles, says he was introduced to cannabis by Bob Dylan. Yeah, again, you know who Bob Dylan used to have for that inspiration to get into the spiritual things. Yeah, cannabis, whiskey, smoking cannabis. Finally, to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Exactly. I think we have covered that in the Christopher Lee sessions. I don't know.
That could be.
Sky is a song by the English rock band The Beatles from 1967, album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, which means actually that is that very image of Crowley on it. Okay. So that is a song called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and it's a speculation that it means LSD, Lucy Sky Diamonds, initially commonly used for the hallucinogenic drug, etc., etc. Lennon repeatedly denied that he had intended it as a drug song. He attributed the song's fantastical imagery to his reading of Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland books. The Beatles recorded that in 1967, etc., etc., etc. John Lennon said the inspiration for the song came when his 3-year-old son Joan showed him a nursery school drawing that he called Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and Julian Lennon confirmed that. But what choice does he have? If he would say the real background, maybe. Okay, so but I just don't blame Julian Lennon here. I just citing here the Wikipedia article. I don't know why. I showed it to Dad, and I painted it at school, and yeah, that could be true. But it could have several meanings also. Yeah, and now Paul McCartney remembered of the song's composition. We did the whole thing like Alice in Wonderland idea, being in a boat on a river. Oh, boat on a river means Styx, ne? That means the one who is putting you over to your last journey. Every so often it broke off and you saw Lucy in the sky with diamonds all over the sky. This Lucy was God, the big figure, the white rabbit. Source: Alan Aldridge, Paul McCartney's Guide to the Beatles Songbook, page 90 to 24. This Lucy was God. It was not a small girl. from the kindergarten. It was not LSD. No, it was God, the big figure. So that is what Paul McCartney says on the official page, at least in that coming down from the source of that songbook. Yeah, that was God. There's only one Luci abbreviation which could fit, and this once again, it's Lucifer. It's Lucifer. I will ascend. What's it about? Isaiah 14:12 for the last time, maybe. Isaiah 14:12. I cannot do any short sessions, it seems.
Isaiah 14:12, it reads, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, excuse me, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the congregation of upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yet shall be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit."
Yeah, I will ascend into heaven. I will ascend into heaven. Yeah, what other plan could you have if you are the NASA?
That's
never
right.
Never a straight but a serpent answer. I will ascend into heaven.
With Luci in 2021.
Yeah. And Lucy's
this just happened.
Yeah, and Lucy's trust don't mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There are LSD rumors that could also have the meaning Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, LSD. And McCartney gave interviews in June admitting to having taken the drug. It's not an acid song, though. Yeah, it's about Lucifer. So therefore he's right. It's not an acid song. Yeah. We never thought about LSD. Yeah, and McCartney confirmed it was pretty obvious that drugs did influence some of the group's compositions at that time, including Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, but it's easy to overestimate the influence on drugs of the Beatles music. But maybe it is not an overestimation that there was an influence of Satanism on the Beatles music, especially when you depicted Crowley there. Yeah, so you see, this is the innocent picture of that Lucy, which was maybe the inspiration of that picture, but not the inspiration of that song. Yeah, don't see anything but a weird painting, but it could be anything. My. Yeah, my son came home with a drawing, he said, and wearing the pentagram of the United States Army, Flying around, I said, what's it? He said, it's Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. He said, oh yeah, the Beatles said, okay, that's great. That would be very fitting to put on our album with Aleister Crowley. I don't think that Julian Lennon at the age of 3 came up with the idea of Aleister Crowley, don't you think, Brett?
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, and
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, if you are the son of John Lennon, everything is possible, maybe, huh? So
well, that's true. Yeah.
That's true. On the other hand, yeah.
Yep.
Have you taken LSD? And then Mr. Paul McCartney tries, about 4 times, and but I cannot tell you where I get it from. And you see that, oh no, I was to say where I got it, and I was to say, and it's illegal and everything, and newspaper, and to tell a lie or to tell a truth. My. Never a straight answer. It's also an abbreviation for the Beatles, not only for the NASA.
Yes. Very true.
I'm not trying to spread the word, but this man from the newspaper, this man from the mass medium, I'll keep it a personal thing if he does. Yeah, so I hand over my secrets.
Mass medium.
My. Don't think my fans are going to take drugs just because I did. Yeah, he was being arrested in Japan for having drugs with him on a tour with Wings.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, it was just marijuana, if I remember correctly, 1918 or so. But It was a very personal thing, but I shut it up, if you will, and blah, blah, blah. So that the main thing is that this Luci was God. Yeah, this Luci was the white rabbit. Yeah, follow the white rabbit into the underground, into the underworld of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Yeah, Alice follows him down the rabbit hole into Wonderland, but it's not Wonderland, it's the underworld. Where does a rabbit live? Under the earth. And when do men live under the earth? When they are dead. Especially, they do not live, but the remains of the bones and the body are under the earth. Alice follows him down the rabbit hole into Wonderland. That means Alice follows him down into the underworld. That's what is depicted with the Lewis Carroll also as a pedophile. So decoding. I'm not accusing him, but many people who are researchers in that field are accusing him. So decoded, it means Lucifer in disguise with diamonds, because in disguise is also the same phonetic meaning as in disguise. Lucifer in disguise. Lucy in disguise with diamonds. Yeah, Lucifer in disguise with diamonds.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me of that little snippet that we put up, Michael, on the sessions about Queen, when that he got these diamonds. Oh, you don't me?
Correctly.
You don't believe? They don't believe me.
They don't believe. Yeah, they don't believe Bob Dylan also when he was confessing that he was in touch with the chief commander.
Well, right, because he never said Satan.
The chief commander of a world we can't see. Who can that be, huh?
We know for sure, for a fact who he's talking about, but he didn't say it.
You can see Great Britain, you can see the Vatican, but you cannot see a world we cannot see.
There's too many people that like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's the trouble here.
And you think that he did not drugs when he's painting his Rolls Royce that way. Yeah, so he's a totally hypocrite. He says, imagine no possessions. It isn't hard to do. Yeah. But riding without a license, being driven in a Rolls Royce at the same time, being a millionaire. Yeah. So John Lennon said, quote, Christianity will go, it will vanish and shrink. I know I'm right and will be proved right. We are more popular than Jesus now. Yeah.
If that is Counter-Reformation, there you go.
If that is not Satanism, I don't know what is.
Right.
Yeah, do what thou wilt. Oh, this is repetition here. That's fine, because then it saves us a lot of time. Yeah, this is repetition, and also that would be the end. I think that I've copied that. Yeah, that's the whole idea of Lucifer and of Luciferianism and of Crowley and of the Beatles. Do what thou wilt. Yeah, just worship. Yeah. Just worship. Just worship Satan in any form whatsoever. Just worship. Yeah, I will ascend
above the heights of the clouds. Yeah,
above the heights of the clouds. Thank you. In this image. On that page, it says another connection to the Fab Four, meaning the Beatles. From a John Lennon single, we all shine on like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah. And Lucifer. He forgot. Yeah, so this is Lucifer's Trust, a name to honor Lucifer. Yeah, it's always the same.
Yeah, they changed it in 1925, you said? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 1925.
1925. That's a while back. No one remembers it. So
yeah. That's exactly correct. Yeah, that's 100 years later. Yeah, 100 years later.
Yeah, it's
all gone.
Close. Yeah, 96 actually to be precise, but yeah, 96 years to 2021. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, I don't want to go into the next subject now, but I think that was long enough now, and yeah, I think we will close it down. You see that NASA and this telescope of the Vatican can mean anything. I think I will remembered by the last session by Carol Rosen. Maybe we should 340. Maybe we should skip back. I don't. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, the next threat after terrorists would be asteroids. Yeah. So can you imagine the Vatican would discover, with their might and power and science under their control, they would discover a meteorite at a collision course towards the Earth, and everybody must now work together, and we must now combine our efforts, our power, our money, our strength, and our meditation service, and our prayer, and what else? Yeah, you see,
there was a movie about that in the 80s, wasn't there, or something? I thought I remember
a movie from with Bruce Willis also. I cannot remember at the moment what it is.
Neither. It's just so many movies, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you see that there was a movie where they were destroying an asteroid or something.
Yes,
like this.
I think that might be the one. Yeah.
Final Impact? No, Meteor.
Too many movies.
Oh, not Bruce Lee. Bruce Willis. Oh, this automatically. Armageddon. That's it. Yeah, Armageddon. Yeah, of course. It has to be something with the Bible.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Armageddon. Yes.
Megiddo was the Valley of Megiddo. Yeah, never mind. I'm way off.
Yeah, unclean spirits like frogs, the spirit of devils working miracles. Yeah. It's very interesting to close it down, actually, with this few verses, Brett, because then you can expect that the Vatican did not install Luci, and did not.
Revelation 16:14. Should I read it now? You were going to finish your sentence, Michael?
Yeah, you can read it now, please. Yes.
Oh yeah. For they are the spirit of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, to gather them together to that battle, or to the battle of the great day of God Almighty. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. And he gathered them together. What's that, Michael?
Where are you?
Verse 16.
Oh, sorry, I was off.
I understand.
Sorry to interrupt the riff.
Not a problem. I was expecting a different verse as well, but this is how it reads. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. And he gathered them together into a place in the Hebrew tongue called Armageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got a biblical reference of Armageddon. The Bruce Willis movie. Most negative reviews. Deep Impact. Oh, that's also another movie. So they are just putting out this doctrine that there could be a universal threat. Yeah, as I would like to cite or quote Ronald Reagan once again. Huh?
Yeah, right. From 87, wasn't it?
Yeah.
1987.
Yeah, so we can expect that they also play that card that Carol Rosen was mentioning, that with asteroids. Yeah, so now the file is crashed. That is okay. That is very fit. That also symbolized that this the
session is done.
Session is done. Script is crashed. Everything
is done. And you know, Michael, I had one more Bible quote I wanted to share, and that's Matthew 10, verse 18, 19, somewhere in there. I'm sorry. Let's go to Matthew 10, verse 15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Speaking of the city that was described when the apostles are going to visit these cities and to give the gospel to the people, okay, regardless if they're Jews or Gentiles. And then we come to Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And I think, Michael, that's really where we're getting to by going through the esotericism we just went through all of the Satanism we just went through, is to give you this point of view, but come at it biblically and say, not so far. We have to rebuke Satan and put him in his place. We have to. There's no other way you're going to get control of your household with God's help than by standing up as a man and doing your duty. And that's our message, Michael. And Matthew 10:18 goes on to say, or should I say 17, but beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought of what ye shall speak, for it shall be given to you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. Isn't that interesting, Michael? And I think that's the message, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we'll look forward to catching up with you next time. And Maranatha.